Hello, you join me in Derbyshire, just investigating some hidden tunnels. So, stay tuned for the video. Hello, welcome back to another video. I'm in a crowd. We're here again, we're in Derbyshire and we're with the Whitewicks. You're back from Andover, aren't you?
Yep.
And they've come to show me some industrial stuff up here in Derbyshire. So what exactly are we looking at here? Because to me, it's all fields.
There's a lot of fields. So we've got two very early tram roads. And when we say tram roads, we're sort of talking about the time before railways were even considered as a form of mass transit. So we're looking at tram roads which use almost like an L-shaped plateway. So you figure you've got a truckload of minerals and lime, and you want to move that truckload of mineral from A to B. How do you do it? You move it by truck. And as time goes on, you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, if I could guide this truck, it would be a lot easier than using old roads. So what we're looking at today is some of the really primitive forms of railway as we know them. We've got the Butterley Gangroad and we've got the Crich Tramway as well.
Right, so this is kind of like the transition between horse and carts onto rails, goods onto rails.
Yep, exactly.
The first jump from horse and carts onto rails, is it?
Yep. And at this time, we're talking now 1790s onwards, and at this time there was a few people doing that. I think you obviously know well of Benjamin Outram.
Benjamin Outram, yeah. Benjamin Outram was involved in the Stanage Canal Tunnel.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And yeah, that's what we're looking at today. And it's a fascinating time when there was no consideration really for using rails as a form of mass transit, other than for industry. So that's where we are right now in this point of history today. We're looking at the industrial side of the railways before they were for people.
Well, for me, that's pre-1830. What years are we talking?
Yeah, so we're looking at the first one we're going to look at is the Butterley Tramway or Butterley Gangway.
Yep.
Butterley Gangroad. That was 1793 that was built.
Ooh.
And it's got a little bit of a treat in store for us as well, in terms of the tunnel.
All right, tunnel. We like tunnels. Right, let's crack on and see what we can see amongst these fields. I'm still not convinced, but let's move on. And we've also got a visitor with us today. We've got Mark here with us.
Hello.
Mark's one of my friends and he said, what's this urban exploring you do? Take me out with you, I want to see what you do. So he's here with us today. It's a beautiful day, so with a bit of luck we'll get him going down some holes or looking at something. Get him dirty, eh? Give him his baptism of fire. Anyway, let's go. So as we said, this week's video is in Derbyshire, and you'll see there the city of Derby, and if you look to the north of it where the red pin is, that's the area that we're going to explore. Quite a rural area, but lots and lots of hidden industrial history. So it looks like we've got the remains of possible lime kilns here. You see the stone arch there. Obviously been bricked in and used for something later. Should we go in and take a look? Why not? Interesting, looks like it's possibly being used for a horse or something now. Another one here, much more wrecked. Let's just take a look inside this one as well. So they go back to around 1805, we think. We're just a little sign at the bottom there that's giving us information. And it's saying that by 1805 there was actually 3 lime kilns in use here. Amazing stuff, but they possibly go back earlier, maybe 1793. Big history around here in Derbyshire of lime quarrying. So because the Butterley Gangway predates the railways, it was the first early experimental format of sort of putting goods onto rails, and they didn't know quite how yet they were going to propel those goods along. Horses pushing it, cables, walking steam engines, we're not quite sure. But this is possibly one of the earliest, oldest railway bridges in the world, because it was rails that went above it, but rails before railways were built. And obviously they've had to circumnavigate this farm track, would have been then a farm track, and we have this. So I know that the tunnel along here is one of the earliest recorded tunnels ever for a railway. So this is probably, alongside it, one of the earliest recorded bridges ever. Amazing to think, eh?
Okay, so side-by-side maps. Map on the left is 1898, and this is the village of Fritchley in Derbyshire. The right-hand map is just for reference how it is now, but there's our Butterley Gangroad, and you'll see the Gangroad there just goes underneath the road, and that is possibly the oldest railway tunnel in the world. And the Gangroad has been straightened out at this point because it used to follow the contour lines, according to Paul. But as we pull the map up there, you can see it splits there, and it goes off to two quarries. So you've got Old Quarry there and Hills Quarry there, and that's what this Gangroad was all about. It was about getting the limestone down from the quarries to the canal, and it was the Cromford Canal that it led to.
So this is basically what we're talking about. A little truck like this on lines that was pulled along by horses or pushed along, but you get the impression.
Okay, so do you see where the cursor is now on the left-hand map? Well, that is where the Butterley Gangroad goes underneath a little road junction in the village of Fritchley. And where it goes underneath the road, that is the oldest railway tunnel in the world, 1793. And the story is that it's actually now in someone's back garden. So the very kind people who lived in the house allowed us into the back garden to take a look at where the tunnel is. Unfortunately, you can't get into it, but here we go. Let's take a look at this.
So this is the slightly later line. What they did was they straightened out the line. The original line went this way through the field here. Apparently it went a little bit like that, and then when they started to use steam engines on it, they needed obviously a much more straighter line, so they straightened it out. And this is the original track bed, and the people that own the house there, when they bought the house, inherited this track bed. But just up ahead here, they discovered one day a tunnel, a railway tunnel. Now I'll tell you straight away, we can't get in the tunnel, but we can see the top of it, and it's possibly the oldest railway tunnel in the world. In fact, I'm going to show you a plaque that John's got, who owns the house, that says it is one of the oldest railway tunnels in the world, unless you know different.
Okay, a little side story for you. This is a picture from a book of the Butterley Gangway. The kids there are about to wave to their father who's driving the steam train. One of them is a little girl who's now in her 80s. Her dad's driving the locomotive, and that little girl who's now in her 80s lives in the cottages just there by the field, by the tramway where she used to wave to her father driving the steam locomotives.
So the very kind people let us walk through the garden to take a look at the top of the tunnel, and they found this by accident, can you believe? And it's just by the caravan here. Let's take a look at this. 1793? 1793. So it predates all the railways. In fact, they were still building canals then. So in 1992, John bought this house, and he's building this for his garden for storage. You'll notice there's a bit of a dip here, so he's messing about and it's all undergrowth and everything. And he walks here just behind where the caravan is, and just at the wall here he discovers the top of an arch. So he starts to dig, and little does he realise he's finding the oldest railway tunnel in the world. The rest is history, because you went straight to historical England and said, what on earth is this? He did his research, and before you know it, we've got the oldest railway tunnel in the world here. He's got a plaque I'm going to show you from the Guinness Book of Records, 1793, absolutely amazing find. It's not very long. We'll go on the other side of the fence and I'll show you where it runs to, but you're not just blown away with that story. That is amazing. Not a lot to see, but there it is. Just see the top of the arch there. And it runs underneath the road there. And the tunnel runs this way, under the road. Part of that house fell into it. You can see what's just been done up there. Well, I don't know if it fell into it, but it affected, caused a little bit of subsidence, and it runs underneath here, behind this van, and comes out over in this field on the other side, somewhere down here.
The brickwork, you see, we think was added much later to shore up the foundations underneath the house that suffered the subsidence. And so, after taking tea and cakes in John's wonderful little garden, we followed the tramway over stream, through vale and through valley, and along the way we found some wonderful other little bridges and features. So just before we move on, if you do decide to look up any more information on the Butterley Gangroad, this is one of the websites you might encounter. And you'll notice it shows some kind of strange steam locomotive there. That was called Brunton's Traveller, and it was developed by the company as a way of propelling the wagons along the tramroad. Now it's incredibly interesting because this is the forerunner to what would later be steam engines, and they couldn't, what interests me is they couldn't get away from this idea of a horse. So if you look at the back, it had the equivalent of legs that pushed it along, rather than like, you know, the horizontal affair that drove the wheels. They actually put mechanical legs on it and called it the Traveller. It wasn't very successful apparently, and it was viewed no more than a very expensive mechanical novelty that travelled along at 3 miles an hour. But obviously these were the early stages of propelling things along by steam and getting away from static steam engines. So this was quite an insight into what the future would become. It's just that the future steam locomotives didn't have legs and hoofs of they've tried to emulate on this thing here. Very, very interesting that.
So that was the Butterley Tramway. Quite interesting, and we just found little bits of it, didn't we? Well, there's some more architectural, sort of industrial architecture to find, because guess who was active in this area of Derbyshire in 1841? George Stephenson. There were all sorts of lime quarries around here, and with little tramways and railways and bits of goods lines and stuff. And George Stephenson had a vested interest in some of the businesses around here. So he was quite active, and he was building these bits of railways and tramways. So what Paul's telling me is that the Crich Tramway is up here as well, which was another one of these little goods lines that Stephenson built in 1841. Again, there's only little bits of it that we can find and we're going to have a look at. Apparently there's some tunnels, so we're going to see if we can find little bits of features dotted along the way. Absolutely beautiful here. Let's go and see what we can find of George Stephenson's legacy. So, we're just on the main road in a place called Crich, I think that's how you say it, in Derbyshire. And we're going to look at a tunnel, a buried tunnel built by Stephenson, who, as I said, was very active in the area in all sorts of industries. It's in someone's garden. Paul has already been and done a little bit of background work and spoke to the gentleman whose garden it is, and he said, yep, you can come in, take a look at the tunnel. So I haven't got a clue what we're going to go and see, but it's a buried tunnel, so let's go and have a look. So this is incredible. We're in someone's garden. You'd never know that this was here, but at the back of the garden is a little cutting. Just here is a tunnel, one of Stephenson's tunnel, again very, very early. I think I'll put the date up down here for you, but they're just trying to work out with the lady who owns the house a way to take a closer look at the tunnel. This is unbelievable. You'd never know this was here at all. Okay, so here it is. This is the cutting. It must have been a small line, this, Paul.
Yeah, tram road. Literally tram road.
So literally it's just a tram road. It was just a little goods wagon type road. Can you see down there? There's a little tunnel down there. We're going to go and try and take a look at it. We're in someone's garden, like I say here. This is unbelievable. Look at this. So this is our tunnel. Oh, it's bricked up, innit?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Breeze block.
So we're in the cutting. Look at this, where we are. The tramway would have gone this way, and we're here. Look at this. The lesser known of Stephenson's works. This would have been bread and butter for him, this. This would have been easy. Stone arch there, can you see it just about? Can you just make it out? And obviously there's a breeze blocks now, and the tunnel has been blocked up. However, you will notice there was a small hole, and I have a torch and a camera on the end of a stick. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Getting both the camera and the torch into the tunnel.
Yeah.
See what we can do. Right, that took some doing that and some ingenuity to try and get a camera in there. All the little cameras didn't work because of the small sensor, but in the end I put my big camera in and put my torch actually inside there like that. That was amazing. A little piece of hidden George Stephenson in this little miniature cutting, if you like, for a little tramway. So now I need to get out, and according to Mark, it's easier getting out than it is getting in. So we'll see, shall we? On this slippery wall. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, brilliant stuff. That was amazing, and so nice of those people to let us in the garden. They were lending us rakes and hoes and all sorts of stuff to chop away all the undergrowth in front of the archway. But to actually see in there, can you imagine how long it's been since anyone has looked in there? Absolutely amazing. That was brilliant. One of George Stephenson's smaller tunnels, that one, on a little goods tramway. Fantastic. So thank you to those people for letting us in the garden, and they were quite curious, saying, well, we know there's a tunnel there but we don't know what it is. So Paul was telling them all about it. Great stuff. So let's move on and look at the next little gem that we might be able to find. So just found something here in the middle of a field in Derbyshire. You would never know it was here, but Paul's done his homework. So you see the galvanised fence there? Just go up to it, come and take a look at this.
As Mark's pointed out, there might be some of the hole there. Again, whenever we find a tramway tunnel, the Hills Road was a really good example. Why?
So obviously the railway was down here, or the tramway or the goods way was down here in a cutting, because if I just turn the camera around you can see our tunnel entrance is right down here, down there, you see. But I wonder what we're trying to work out is why here next to a dry stone wall, you see there's a dry stone wall, and just sort of in open country did they have to build a tunnel that went underneath something. A bit baffling really, isn't it? But nonetheless, probably one of England's lesser known hidden tunnels. I can't believe that's there. You would never know but for this fencing that it was there. So I found a gate through to the little compound, and if somebody passes me a torch we'll take a look in this tunnel. This is quite fascinating. Let's take a look.
This is kind of the last thing they're doing, isn't it?
How do I? So there you go, 1841, another one of Stephenson's little hidden gems here in Derbyshire. I would have never ever have known this was here. This is incredible, and it's in remarkably good condition. I could probably go down there, to be honest with you, which I'm tempted to do to get a better shot. Shall we? I don't know if I'm doing the right thing here or not, but it's not a drop, it's a slope. I'd appreciate the torch. Let's see what we can do. Ooh, 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 ooh. Right, so there's a bit of a drop. Let's have a look. This. So the tunnel I don't know if you can see, well, it's bent round. Oh!
It's a leaf stuck in it.
Yeah, the tunnel is actually bent round. It goes round there. Quite far in and quite deep. Let's just open out again. But there you go, and you can see the indents of the where the sleepers were, just in there. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I could go in. It'd be interesting to go in actually, but... So, I've convinced the Whitewick to come into the tunnel. We're actually in here, can you believe? I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to have a walk down because there is light at the end of there, you know. Let's go and take a look. We're going to have to slide down here, Paul, to...
I'm going to see how you fare first.
I'm just very careful there. There's a lot of these boulders here, I wonder where they're from.
Just be careful where you're walking as you come in.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. You come on, I'm going to stay here for a bit. You come. Oh, there's light.
You're not coming in?
Hey?
You're in,
Well, I
you're
can't
in
see,
now.
I can't see what I'm saying. Oh, what?
What is it?
Oh, the tracks are different levels.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Sleepers. Sleepers. Where?
Oh my god, look.
Oh, what is that? What is that? That is never a mushroom.
Right.
That is the strange. That is the strangest thing ever.
Go anywhere near it in terms of spores.
Right, okay. That is strange. What in God's name is that? That is alien. That is just bizarre.
I'm going to message that to my sister, she'll tell us what it is. That's mad, isn't it?
That is mental, just growing here on its own. So we're avoiding. That is the bizarrest thing ever. That jumps up at you and goes down your throat. Proper see the sleepers now, where the sleepers have been. Down there, can you see them?
Yeah, it's getting a bit.
Beautiful stone wall. What a little gem this is. In the middle of a field in Derbyshire. And the track is on 2 levels. And you can still see where the sleepers have been and everything. So this is literally, all I've done is lifted the track and shoved earth at both ends and just fenced off the ends. Amazing stuff. Absolutely fantastic to find this. I get this in. Yeah. Work downwards.
Was there any body?
And there you go, filled in at the top. Daylight again there. I always said them southerners lived in holes.
Wow.
Hey up, and there's another one.
Oh, I don't know
Tunnel's
if he's
giving birth.
southern. I don't know how southern he is. Wow. What, should we go in the other end?
That was amazing. I'm filthy, covered in spiders. It was like I'm a celebrity. But what was that fungus? You'll need to comment on that, but only say if you know what it is. That was like the alien. Wow, that was incredible. I've probably got all sorts of stuff growing and crawling on me now. That mushroom, I probably said that already, I can't get over it. Although it's fenced off, we didn't have to break in or anything, just to let you know if you're wondering. We did actually just go underneath the fence. I think the fence is there just to keep sheep and cows out, so I don't think there was any harm in doing what we did. So we'll put all the bricks back that we slid underneath, and we'll go and take a look at the other side of the tunnel from behind the fence this time and just see where it comes out. But it had a bit of a bend in it, didn't it? I don't know if you noticed that.
Big questions as well, if anyone actually knows, you can put in your comment section. Clearly there was 2 lines in there, right?
Yeah.
One of which was
Higher.
probably, at least at some point, maybe 2 foot higher,
Yeah.
or 2 foot lower.
Yeah.
Why was that? One of them is so high that it appears to be sort of 4 feet from the tunnel top. So you couldn't really have run much. So why was that? Why was there a split level? We'd love
Sort
to know.
of two, yeah.
Because there's very little online about this tunnel that
Right.
exists.
Right. You see the stone in there? It's probably formed a wall. Oh, look at this, yes. One hell of a cut in here.
Okay, so the final thing we're going to look at is an incline railway built by George Stephenson. Unfortunately, I can't find any pictures of it, but it would have been like this. This isn't the actual one, but it would have just been wagons on cables being lowered down the incline to be offloaded, probably onto boats at the bottom, canal boats at the bottom. An amazing thing, but again, we're looking at before railways and where they just propel wagons along by any means necessary, even if that meant like cables pulling them up an incline.
Right, so we found something. You're the best person to tell us what. You'll see this incline here. What is it?
Yeah, hopefully the camera gives you the gradient. I think the gradient is 1 in 4. I could be stand to be corrected, but I think it's a 1 in 4. We've just left the tunnel. And we've headed probably 50 yards south, and we know we're looking for an incline plane. So this, we're pretty sure. Look at the beautiful earthworks there. Look at that rounded earthworks, enough for a double track, which you'd need for the incline plane. So yeah, this is the Stephenson's 1841 incline plane. 2 trucks probably loaded either side, pull up using the old barrel system at the top, up and down. Empties come up,
Yeah.
loaded go down.
So on a rope.
Yeah,
System.
rope system with a barrel at the top apparently.
Right, and again to get limestone down to the bottom of there.
Limestone down to the bottom, yeah.
From a quarry up there.
The cliff, I think it's called the Cliff Quarry, and I think it's still in use now,
Right.
to this day, just by the old tramway museum, different
Wow.
type of tramway.
And it's what gets me is you'd never know it was here. We've had to walk through fields and up country lanes and all sorts to find this, and it's just nature's completely reclaimed it, hasn't it? It's
Yeah.
just unbelievable. But that, yeah, you can definitely tell that was something, can't you, behind us?
Yeah, and this is what really works for me. The earthworks, the landscape history is what we love on our channel,
Right.
and this really ticks a big box. So go back 5 years ago, I wouldn't have a clue what this was. I'd look at this and go, yeah, that's really cool, but I'd
Yeah.
love to know what it is. Now, because we've done the research and we know what we're kind of looking for, we know that this is a purpose-built incline plane for a limestone quarry built by Stephenson.
Yes, clever guy. And if you can see anything moving at the bottom there, there's a lot of cows down there moving. We're just hoping they don't charge uphill to us. I don't think they'll be able to. They're knackered, don't they? So there you go. Amazing finds.
What a great day.
Yeah, all down to this man and his detective work, and Rebecca and her detective work. Me and Mark just followed along, but that was brilliant. Absolutely amazing. So there you go, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Don't forget, subscribe to these two on YouTube. What are you called these days?
Oh, Whitewick's Abandoned Railways.
Whitewick's Abandoned Railways. Whitewick's Abandoned Railways.
Yep.
So if you love this railway stuff, these two do it. Put a video out every week, is it?
Every week, yeah, every Friday, yeah.
So there you go. Take a look at their YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching from Derbyshire on this beautiful day in July. I shall see you very soon in the next video. And from Mark.
See you soon.
Bye.